So story time, and stay with me here. Just was reading the Bible, and God laid on my heart. I was supposed to put this message out a while ago too, regarding King Artaxerxes, the king of Persia, aka King Ahasuerus. I hope I said that right. Esther and Vashti. So the only reason Esther even came to be the queen was because of his first wife Vashti was disrespectful to this man, and I was just like, well, dang. If what she did was disrespectful, I've been very disrespectful as a wife. Because, okay, so boom, right? Vashti, the king had a festival, and he had this shit for a long ass time. I think this festival ran for months. It ran for a long span of time. But stay with me here. And during this festival, they would pretty much party every day, every night. He entertaining people, feeding them, they having a good time. Think about who likes to do that. Hello. Just party, having a good time. He even, allowed them to tour his kingdom. It was over a bunch of days, 160 some days. Don't quote me on the time, but it was a long time for him to be entertaining some people. You feel me? So it just pretty much, he had a party every day. So he wanted to show off Vashti, his beautiful queen. He wanted her to come out and allow everyone to bask in her beauty. And Vashti was like, fuck them. I'm not going out there. Like, I've done that plenty of times. I don't want to be bothered. But because Vashti was like, I'm not going out there, she got dismissed. The men was like, what? The king was embarrassed because this woman was disrespectful to him. Didn't come out when he told her to. Told him she's not coming out. So boom, right? She got dismissed because of that. And I was like, how many times have I done that? At least, no, I don't know. No. So my point is, ladies, Esther was a pleasant woman. Let me just tell you how much the king's officials, the people that worked in the king's palace, hated Vashti. One day, first off, let me go back and tell the story. So, because this woman denied this man and didn't come out and greet and, hi, how are you? Be pleasant and everything, because she didn't go out and do so. She lost her queendom. He put her out. He put her out on the streets. He let her go. And then they made a law saying that no woman, he wrote that shit into a law. No woman should disrespect her husband and tell him no. We've come a long way, ladies. We've come a long way. But anyways, I digress. But Vashti probably was a bitch too. The reason I say that is, stay with me here. Because the people that worked in the palace didn't want Vashti back, one day he started reminiscing about Vashti. Like, I miss my wife. I think I want her back. Them niggas was like, nope. We'll get all the young virgins. Let's gather all the young virgins. And you pick one of them bitches. We don't want her ass back. And get this how he had to interview. First off, they had to go through, I think, a whole 12-month process of preparing for the king. So Esther got chosen. Her cousin, who she was raised by, named Mordecai, said, go on up there, you pretty, you got a shot. You might can get up in the palace. Go try it out. So she got chose to be queen. But get the interview process. He had to sleep with each one of them. But prior to him even sleeping with them, they had to go through a whole purity process of a year. And I was trying to read up on what that purity process was. And also they had to be taught etiquette of how to be a queen. Esther found favor when she was even in the review process because she was just a pleasant young lady. She was just pleasant. She was so pleasant till when she did become queen. Every time the king greeted her, he was like, he just was just like in awe of her beauty and her grace and her elegance. That he was like, anything you want from me, up to half of my kingdom. He didn't give all of it, but he was like, I give you half of whatever I have. It's yours. Just let me know. Just let me know. So what I'm trying to say is, if you are a graceful, pleasant individual, you can get more from a man if you're pleasant and if you have grace and you are kind and you smile and be pleasant. You get more from a man. Not with Vashti. And a lot of us take the disposition of Vashti. I'm very guilty of it. If I don't want to be bothered, I don't want to be bothered. So I was like, this lady got dismissed for something that I have done so many times before. I don't want to talk. And I was like, and what was Vashti even going through? She could have been cramping or something. You see what I'm saying? When that time of the month, I don't want to be bothered. But anyways, but she must have been, like I said, because when he started thinking about bringing her back, they were like, nope, we'll bring you some young virgins, pick you some new pee, get you some new. And then for the interview process, he had to sleep with all of them, and if they weren't worthy, they just became concubines. Esther made the cut. She had the top-notch cooch. Plus, she was pleasant.